When you first log into PDM Web, this will be the dashboard you see, and where you can see my cursor moving around, you'd have some information there, performance. What we're going to show you is the process of creating a delivery, and then we'll move into PDM app to show you how that's carried out. So within the menu system, you'd navigate around Pro Delivery using this, and you can access your customers. And what we're going to do is create a delivery for a patient using the scan function. So you can search patients using this, but we're going to use a scan. So you click into that area there, into the search function, and scan. It'll bring up the patient record, and you press new order. At this point, you've got the ability to add notes and any tags. So if it's, for instance, a controlled or refrigerated item, we'll mark this one as urgent. Automatically defaults it to the courier group and to that particular day. You can change this within your defaults and save. Once that task has been created, you can then review all deliveries for the day, going into orders, and there's 4 deliveries, 3 which I previously set up. I'll now move into PDM app, where you can see how we complete these deliveries via that system. Within the PDM app, when you first log in, you'll get a dashboard. And as you can see, there's 4 current tasks there. So if I click into those, you can see the 4 deliveries that we had in the system. And what the driver is able to do here is either use the search function to search for the patient, or the scan function, which is the barcode there. If they tap that, that'll open the camera and they can search using the barcodes. So what we have here is a list of tasks to complete, and the driver, as I said, can search, or we can simply select those deliveries you want to mark and move into a specific route. So we'll select those 4 and move them into a route. So we'll select route. We can give the route a label, but we're not going to do this on this occasion. And it can move from the current location back to the current location, or you can select other options depending on the entity setup. We'll press select, and those tasks then will move into that route. So we'll move from my tasks into my routes, and this is where you get the option then to arrange them in the order which is optimized. So there's the 4 tasks there. We're going to press optimize. We'll optimize by driving, and that will now put them in order, or the most optimized way to this, from the start point to the end point. And by telling the system start route, that's where we can begin driving and delivering to patients. The simplicity of this is, once you arrive at the patient address, you either scan again, depending on the size of volume of deliveries you've got, or click into the delivery, check the details. With this particular one, you can see it's a controlled drug. You press complete. You've got a highlight there at the top, the red bar, which is telling me I'm not in the current location, which if the driver was at that address, that would be green. It's selected the patient details, and we're going to mark it as full order received by the contact and save. And that one then will disappear off the device and mark in the system that it's been completed. You also have the option of delivering to multiple sites in one go. So complete, outcome category. We need to select the contact from the drop down and save. And I'll just complete this final one as a failed. Patient isn't there, just to show what it looks like when it comes to the end of the route. So at this point, when all deliveries are completed, the driver would head back to the pharmacy or the end location which has been agreed and press finish route. And if going back to the dashboard, you can see that there's no tasks pending and they've completed their work. So back in PDM Web, I wanted to show you some of the functionality in reviewing orders, etc., and some other functionality. So within reviewing orders, you can access this from the menu system, and you have a series of tabs across the top there. It'll default to targeted today, but I wanted to show you this particular screen because you can change these columns to exactly like you want to customize it. And you're also able to filter using both the outcome of the deliveries, plus also the tags that have been applied to those patients. You can set up regular orders. So for instance, care homes or patients which you know you're always delivering to on a specific day of the week. This is simple. When you create your order for your customer patient, you can simply select the start date and end date if required. You can select the recurrence, so if it's daily, weekly, monthly, etc., for how long, and specific days of the week. And furthermore, you can show a preview of what that looks like across the coming weeks. Within communicating to your customers and your patients, you have a function within it for both SMS and email. We'll show you the simplicity of how this is to set up. So within event notifications from the main menu, from the administration menu, you can select what status changes. So for instance, this is when a status is changed for delivering to customer, and it's email, as you can see here. And you have the ability to customize exactly what you want to say to your patient. You can add hyperlinks if you want. And also you have the ability to add bits of information such as tracking links, order reference numbers, etc. And each of these placeholders will appear in these brackets like that. Within tracking, to try and understand your driver performance, where your driver is, and the outcome of some of the deliveries and the routes and how they followed those routes, you have the ability to understand that by using the tracking function. By selecting the date, the driver, and the actual route, you can see the driver performance on the screen, the route they've been designated based on the optimization, and just some examples here with the different colors. So for instance, green means they've been delivered, red means that they've attempted to deliver, but the patient wasn't there. And obviously, the more activity within this screen, the more data you'll be able to see to click into and understand your driver performance. You have the ability to sequence tasks within PDM Web. And this is for those with perhaps a more complex setup and where you've got a hub system possibly. So for instance, here you can add a specific task from a series of different selections, and you can add your own if you wish, or you can add a sequence which you've pre-created, and that just instantly will create these 4 different steps here. So for instance, this example here is where you would have a courier collecting from a branch and delivering to a hub, and then subsequently someone collecting from a hub and then delivering to the customer. So you can customize this to exactly like you want. You have the ability to add customer tags to help with filtering your patient information and identifying those patients. So for instance, the defaults here are the bottom ones there. The top one, shielding, is something I've created for this purpose of demonstrating. And by selecting new customer tag, you can add different tags. There's a whole library of different icons you can use and colors, and you can label them exactly like you want and filter these within the order menu to understand those patients that fall within that category. And finally, setting up new users. This again, when you first create your Pro Delivery Manager account, you will be the default user. However, obviously you want branch staff and couriers added. So by entering their information and adding a new user, you can assign them to a specific group. You can assign them or provide them access to different entities within your organization. If it's a driver, you'd want to enable tracking. And then you've got the ability to either select from a template, which is predefined access, or using the tick boxes to be able to select what level of access you require. Should you require any support once signed up to Pro Delivery Manager, there's a telephone support line available Monday to Friday, 9 till 5, and you can email us on support@prodeliverymanager.com. Thank you.